film festival. The Garifuna. Remember the Garifuna?
Yeah.
And we've sent money to it help. And Nima, what was the name of? Norma Mina. I don't know what she is now, but she introduced us to our people in Nicaragua and the country next to that. So this is another blessing for us to meet another part of our family in the rest of the world. The film that he showed was of West Papua. It's called West Papua Journey to Freedom. And it features Mr. Wainggai in it, and he spoke to the audience about West Papua's struggle for self-determination. Mr. Wainggai was one of the leaders of the West Papuan self-determination struggle, is a former political prisoner, as he explained, right, of the Indonesian government. And he is now a visiting scholar at George Mason University. Our brother flew to Los Angeles fresh from representing the West Papuan people at the 2016 session of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. Below is his report on the session at the UN. Every year since 2007, the United Nations Permanent Forum for Indigenous People holds meetings to discuss issues that are important to indigenous people of the world. It is an opportunity for us, West Papuans, to express our views and concerns and to remind the United Nations of what happened more than 5 decades ago in West Papua under what is called the New York Agreement, which was signed August 15, 1962, and continued in 1969 under the sham election known as the Act of Free Choice. The result of this betrayal is the colonial occupation, really the continued colonial occupation of our people and the destruction of our land and the theft and robbery of our natural resources. I added that. But he said destruction of the natural resources, but they're stealing them.
That's right.
They're destroying some of them, but they're stealing others. And that's what they do. When they steal some, they destroy the rest. Because when they snatch the natural resource, they poison the land. They pollute the waters. Do you realize that? And they contaminate the earth and the air. Excuse me if I'm wrong. So he said, I continue, our people were denied the one man, one vote, which was agreed upon in the New York Agreement. It is our duty to remind the UN of the history when we get the chance. The UNPFI, this indigenous group, focuses on 3 things that affect indigenous people across the world: conflict, peace, and resolution. It gives indigenous people from around the world a voice, an opportunity to raise their concerns about issues and conflict facing them in their own country. I and other representatives, this is Mr. Wainggai, our brother Wainggai talking, I and other representatives of our people in West Papua attended these meetings at the UN headquarters in New York City, urging the UN body to review the mistakes of the past and understand why we West Papuans have been fighting against the illegal occupation of our lands until today. And to recommend to the UN peaceful solutions based on international law. They won't even observe international law. That's why Malcolm said, freedom by any means necessary. If the people want a peaceful resolution, they could give it. But they don't have it. Frederick Douglass said, power conceives nothing without the man. It never did, and it never will. We reminded them that as long as our concerns are not being addressed, the struggle against imperialism will continue, which means more human rights violations against our people will continue. And I add, more of them will be sacrificed on the altar of colonial and imperialist greed. For me, our brother Wainggai said, it was the 3rd time I've attended these UNPFII meetings since its inception in 2007, working and lobbying hard to gain support for the struggle of my people. Most importantly, I took the opportunity to talk about the root causes of the conflict back home in West Papua, and to remind the UN that all we want is freedom from colonialism. We want self-determination, which is our right to determine our own future, our own destiny. Our people have been fighting for freedom for many years, and even if they are outnumbered and face dictatorship, our struggle will continue. It will not stop until we're free.
Self-determination. Self-determination. I said Ujima. That means collective work and responsibility.